Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling green hills and dense, ancient forests, there lived a humble blacksmith named Edgar. Edgar was known throughout the land for his skill with iron and fire, but more importantly, for his kind heart and unwavering honesty. Every day, Edgar toiled in his forge, shaping iron into tools and weapons that were admired far and wide. Despite his skill and the demand for his work, he never charged more than what was fair. Edgar believed that honesty and fairness were the foundations of a good life. One crisp autumn morning, as Edgar was preparing his forge, a richly dressed stranger rode into the village. The man introduced himself as Sir Reginald, a knight from the far-off kingdom. Sir Reginald had heard of Edgar's exceptional skills and came with a special request. He needed a sword of unparalleled quality, one that could cut through armor and never break in battle. In return, he offered Edgar a small fortune. Edgar agreed to the task but insisted that it would take time. "A masterpiece cannot be rushed," he said. Sir Reginald, impatient and eager for his prize, reluctantly agreed and set off to return in a month's time. Weeks passed, and Edgar worked tirelessly on the sword. He poured all his skill and heart into crafting it. He used the finest steel, tempered it with great care, and sharpened it to a deadly edge. On the eve of the final day, the sword was complete. It was a work of art, shining brightly in the light of the forge, perfect in every way. However, that night, Edgar was visited by a wise old woman from the village. She was known for her wisdom and often spoke in riddles. She told Edgar, "The greatest strength of a sword lies not in its blade, but in the hand that wields it." The next morning, Sir Reginald returned, eager to claim his sword. Edgar presented it to him, but with a condition. "This sword is my finest work," he said. "But remember, it is not the sword that makes a knight, but the knight that makes the sword." Sir Reginald scoffed at this. He took the sword and rode away without another word. In his haste, he ignored Edgar's wisdom. Not long after, Sir Reginald found himself in battle. He wielded the sword with confidence, believing it made him invincible. But his arrogance and lack of skill led him to make foolish mistakes. In the heat of battle, he was surrounded, and despite the sword's perfection, was defeated. News of Sir Reginald's defeat spread quickly. People whispered about how a perfect sword had failed him. Edgar, upon hearing this, was saddened but not surprised. He continued his work, teaching his lesson to anyone who would listen. Years passed, and Edgar's tale of the perfect sword and the arrogant knight became a legend. It reminded everyone that true strength comes not from the tools we possess, but from our character and actions. Edgar's life, filled with honesty and hard work, became a beacon of hope and wisdom for all who heard his story. And so the lesson lived on. In life, it is not what we have, but how we use what we have that truly matters.